Hello to everybody watching, listening, and once again, welcome back to some more Mechabellum. I am playing with the new units and I have been enjoying this patch. Like for real, I have been enjoying this patch. It's just that, let's just say experimenting with new units is not exactly doing wonders to my MMR, at least not in a positive way. Now, I want to highlight some games, and I played these games like an hour or something like that, an hour or 2 hours ago, at least in some parts, simply because I want to make sure that I get these replays casted before potentially another patch drops, and it all just goes and, well, gets invalidated by the new patch. Also, for whatever reason, people have recently, maybe somebody heard me, have recently started going for aggro on the other side of what they usually do. So the strategy of putting more stuff to your left than to your right is no longer working as well. Now I'm up against Mr. Well, I think, I'm not entirely sure. I recently looked at these numbers, thought what they could represent, and I think that is Fibonacci numbers, isn't it? I think that is Fibonacci numbers. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. And the next one would be 8 plus 13, so 21, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, the crawlers get the tower. That is unfortunate. But everything else is going my way. There's only steel balls and some chaff left, and the marksman will just take care of that. When you're starting with crawler steel ball, it's not exactly easy to get a win against sledges and marksmen. So this first round is turning out to be a good win for me. Round number 2. We do have fire badges here. I don't actually remember if I took them. My opponent definitely takes them, and to be fair, right now I think they might just be actually pretty decent for aggro. But with the liquid fire, maybe they are actually good for aggro defense, I'm not sure. I'm taking them as well. They are also decently fast, like they go 9 meters per second. And, well, it's not exactly aggro speed, but I think it's faster than the average unit, if I had to guess. I'm trying to put them like here in order to eat some of these crawlers. I don't know if it's better to put them vertically or horizontally or something like that. I'm putting some more sledges in and a bunch of crawlers into his flank here. And I want to take this a bit slower than usual and just take a look at what these units here do. So first of all, mine get absolutely destroyed by the Overlord. How much damage are they accumulating? They are actually doing a nice bit of damage. Despite this thing only being a single unit right now, it has, for some parts at least, gotten the top damage. So they can most definitely do a good amount of damage. I get the tower here, but my opponent will also get the tower. Simply because the steel ball is not, it cannot be killed by the marksman quickly enough. I have some more distraction crawlers coming in. I will eventually get this tower if the battle goes on long enough. So these things have 11,000 and change health, which is not bad. But eventually the snipers are able to take them down. And yeah, the fight is long enough. And the Overlord just gets destroyed. So let's see what the new pickups are. Ah, yeah. If I remember correctly, we both go for the amplifying core. How much did they do? They did 33,000... yeah, 30,500 damage. What am I talking about? 30,500. Mine only did 10,700-ish. Which is reasonable because, well, the Overlord was instantly locking on to them. It was kind of an unfortunate placement. The question is, are they good with sledgehammers? I really don't know if they are good with sledgehammers, to be honest. They kind of fulfill a similar role. They are too big to get killed by fire. They have decent amount of health. But are they good with sledges? Sledges are kind of a all-purpose unit. You give them maximum upgrades and they can totally shred ground giants. It's not even remotely a problem with upgrades and levels. But that is with upgrades and levels. I think every unit with upgrades and levels can start shredding giants. My opponent is putting some wasps here. I'm trying to kind of lead the overload away so that it goes into the snipers more quickly. And then I just add some more tanks. My opponent has leveled the steel balls and he's defending with a missile here and a missile here. So, it is kind of working, but of course I'm also dragging the chaff here. Most definitely, however, my fire badgers did survive a bit longer, and they are piling up the damage. These fire badgers are piling up the damage as well, it's just that mine gets struck down a lot more quickly. I have some more crawlers being really annoying, but these two wasps are not being dealt with, and now my tower falls. His fire badgers are actually sticking close behind the steel balls. So I think maybe steel balls and fire badgers, when they're on the line and it's not a big problem having to move towards the enemy, maybe it's actually pretty good. I do get the tower, but let's just be reasonable. I have nothing there that shoots up. I can get one more of the steel balls and that's it. So, second M core or tech specialist, technically also deployment specialist. I think we both take the tech specialist. So how much did my fire badgers do? 15,000-ish, and those did 23,000-ish. He's also getting the overload artillery. He's once again defending. With a missile, that is. It makes sense. It's relatively cheap and everything. So how does that compare to some other units like these? They have this overload has done over 110,000 damage. Though of course the purpose of these fire badgers is chaff clear. I think simply the fact that I'm leading them away is actually pretty nice. I'm dropping some Mustangs back here in order to defend against the wasps. They didn't level. If they had leveled, I think you can actually drop a level on the wasps and suddenly they will start beating a pack of Mustangs. I'm getting mech rage because I'm getting decent tank levels and everything. I'm leveling tanks despite my opponent having overlords. The overlords have really been hit hard with the nerf hammer. They do barely 3,500 damage without upgrades on their main attack per attack. Yeah, this is a bit of a trick. I'm putting a second pack of crawlers behind so that the second pack of crawlers can, once it's warped in, go after the tower. Now let's check this out. So since both steel balls and fire badgers are close range units, the fire badgers have more range than the steel balls. It's actually pretty good, I think, as a combination on the line. My fire badgers kind of just die, simply because, well, there's nothing in front. They start pushing ahead of the tanks, if need be, and that means they just get absolutely hammered. Speaking of absolutely getting hammered, that was a really good turn for me. The second crawler pack here was really nice. And now I think he can't defend it with just a missile. He has to commit something there. He skips despite range and attack specialists. I'm picking the attack specialist because I think I get decent value out of it. My opponent keeps mastering the overlords. The wasps here have actually leveled. They still do some 15,000 damage. Maybe I'm underestimating them. My opponent's fire badgers suddenly aren't doing much more damage than mine, despite mine surviving for much less time, I think. He is getting a missile here. Anything else that really is being developed? I'm putting an upgrade here, simply so that I'm not as vulnerable. He's also putting a second missile here. Yeah, that is what he did. In order to protect this, the idea being that the first missile takes out the first set of crawlers and the second missile takes out the second set of crawlers, if it makes it here. I'm instead getting a Scorpion. I wager Scorpions should be real good against Steel Ball and Fire Badger. At least that would be my guess. I'm also getting a pack of Fangs here, so that if he levels these Wasps, there's some chaff in front of the Mustangs. So the Mustangs should still win this fight, even if the Wasps level. And then I'm getting an attack upgrade. Also, I mean, additional chaff here against these Steel Balls is probably not a bad idea. Now the Fire Badger still getting absolutely wrecked, and then one... Oh wow, that was a fat freaking Scorpion hit. Yep. Scorpion's absolutely shredding everything on the ground, basically. The unfortunate part is that there is nothing left in front of my marksmen, and these marksmen are stuck on some fangs. Which is really a shame. Also, my marksman doesn't get a final shot off. I bet he was just about to. But then he got destroyed by the artillery. I was reluctant to commit into anti-air earlier on. Simply because, well, there was only 1 or 2 overlords. But now I think it's worth it. I kinda need it now. He's getting the Sabertooth. I'm getting 4 rhinos. I'm also getting anti-air and leveling my marksmen. They now do... they will do like... what is this going to be? I would say about 17,000 damage against air targets. Basically 2 shots, and this Overlord, if it doesn't level, even with the Amp Core, is going to go down. 4 shots with the Amp Core and the level. I was debating maybe I should sell, maybe not. I instead decided to just try and blend the tower. Because it's fun trying to blend the tower, I think at least. My opponent has unlocked the jump drive for absolutely free, so he's going in on this side. And he's put some Fire Badgers in the rear here. In total, I'm not sure if Fire Badgers have even as much health as a pack of sledges. What is that? Is that enough? 1 pack of sledges. Do mind though that I have heavy armor and... yeah, no, only heavy armor for the moment. I think base they have 3,700 health. Times 5. I'm also trying to pull some more units here, but of course he now has an actual counter. I would have to do the math on that. He's also putting the Sabertooth here just to test, I bet. Should be fairly decent into these tanks. Yeah, it's destroying the level 3 sledges just like that. But it's really just doing the same job the Overlords are. These units have been pulled way back. I'm getting the tower with 1 Rhino that survived. This thing cannot possibly stand up to everything. The Wasps, however, are going to get that tower relatively quickly. I will, however, provided nothing stops the Rhino, get another tower in due time. Oh, I think the sledge has already got the tower. Yeah. Not even the Rhino required. And then it's just over here. So how much did the Sabertooth accomplish this fight? That's what I want to check in a moment. Or in a couple of seconds, I guess. Another tech specialist. My opponent goes for a missile device specialist. I didn't even recognize that missile device specialist, to be honest. Yeah, he is putting it against these rhinos here. And he is mobile beaconing the wasps in on the tower. Definitely reasonable. So the Sabertooth. It did about as much damage as the Fire Badgers get on a normal, or got on a normal turn before. I think that thing is not worth the money here. He's also putting a missile in here. Yeah. I'm investing into some stuff, and I'm thinking that a good play here would probably be going for wasps. Oh, he is also getting the acidic explosion on crawlers. I'm getting wasps, I'm getting aerial specialist on them, because I think at this point it's the biggest value.